Hermana Donato, she said weakly. It is good to see you. And you, Valeria smiled, helping Apollo to sit up. She seemed to sway a bit, but Valeria eventually got her to her feet, with the bus driver's assistance. They pulled Apollo's arms around their shoulders, made their way to the exit and down the steps of the bus. As Apollo's feet touched the ground, the fevered sister looked up at the sun, closed her eyes, and smiled. It's good to be home, she said. Valeria smiled. We have missed you, hermana. I've been so eager for your arrival. I cannot wait to hear of your tales. Sister Apollo took a deep breath of fresh air and immediately began to cough, ragged and wet. Valeria's smile faded. Come, hermana, you're exhausted. We must get you home so you can rest. Valeria made her way into the convent kitchen. It was a hive of activity as her hermanas prepared for dinner. Pots boiled, knives chopped, hermanas chatted, laughed, and hummed. Hermana Alvarez noted her arrival, wiping her hands on an already damp tea towel. How is she? She is weak, Valeria said. I think nothing more than soup for her tonight. Shame. I've made her favorite to welcome her home. I'm sure she will appreciate it tomorrow when she is feeling more rested, Hermana Alvarez. Have we had word from Hermana Fuentes? Not since she parted ways with Hermana Apollo, Alvarez said. When she calls, we should report that Hermana Apollo is unwell. Alvarez gave her a nod, and she spooned soup into a bowl, then handed it to her, eyeing her with concern. Remember to sanitize. Sí, hermana. Valeria knocked on Hermana Apollo's door. There was silence, and she wondered whether the hermana was asleep, given she'd been too tired to even bathe. But then she heard the awful coughing through the thick wooden door. She opened it and stepped inside, placing the bowl on the table beside Apollo's bed. She examined the hermana and noted she looked worse still. Hermana, you must eat, she said softly, to keep up your strength. Apollo opened her eyes and gave an almost absent nod. Valeria sat beside her and began to spoon the soup into her mouth, but it was difficult for all the coughing, the soup splattering onto her hand and clothes. Valeria quickly placed the spoon down and cleaned up the mess, then used the hand sanitizer beside her bed. She studied the sick hermana again. I'm going to call Doctora Gutera, she said. No, Apollo waved her off. Do not disturb her this hour, she wheezed. I just need rest. My travels were long and they have taken their toll. Valeria analyzed her. If you are not better by morning, I shall call her regardless. You remember what happened with COVID, hermana. Apollo waved her off lethargically. I just need rest. Valeria gave up on the soup. She had managed to get a little of it into the hermana, so that would have to do. For now, Valeria would grant her the rest she so desperately required. She made her way back to the kitchen where the other hermanas had gathered to collect their dinner plates and move to the dining tables. She barely touched it, Alvarez said, taking the bowl. She's very unwell, Valeria replied, grabbing a tea towel and wiping her clothes and hands again. I'd better put that straight in the wash, Hermana Chio said, holding out her bony, aged hands. Thank you, sister. Valeria handed it to her, and then took a plate and began to serve herself dinner. It was 5 a.m. when Valeria went to awake Hermana Apollo to see if she was well enough for their morning prayer. She had checked on her once during the night. The hermana was wheezing heavily, the sound of the fluid in her lungs troubling, but she was at least asleep, albeit with feverish dreams. Valeria had watched her for a while, heard her murmuring in her sleep, something about a boy.